Welcome everybody to another Small Engine Saturday. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out with me. It's one of the best small engine live streams on YouTube. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the shop, guys. We got Dave, we got Mater, we got two ATVs. What's up everybody? Letting some notifications get sent out here. Hopefully get more people in here shortly. My phone right here to make sure. I'm going to go over to the YouTube side of my phone. What's up, old school? What's up, Ronald? I did not break the kayak. This is my uncle's kayak, Mater. But let me explain to you what we did to the kayak. It ain't finished yet. So my uncle's is, what's up, Breezy? Mike Hodge. My uncle's kayak is the kind you sit down. You sit down in it. Well, it's not set in, but it's a set on top. But it goes in. So we are raising the seat up. We're putting a seat up there, and we made this T-bar today. So just some square stock, and it's going to sit on that. That'd be cool, Mater. Daddy let me do that, but we put some threaded insert rivets in there, and we're going to bolt it down, and his seat come out to that. Supposed to be working today, but let's see if I can show y'all what it is looks like outside. Let's see. I mean, it's okay to take a day off every now and then, right? It's hard to tell, but you walk on that and you sink right into that mud. I've already pulled a truck out of here today. I did get some repairs out. Don't it look a little bit more empty? A throne? You know, I could. Mine, the one I just bought from my buddy, has a swivel seat. So you can sit on there and fish, and you can swivel around and get to access the back side of the kayak. We got 8 people already in the house. What's up, everybody? Be sure to hit that like button, share this out. You know the drift. You know, you just cut a hole out, and you know how it goes, Mater. You just cut a hole out in the center. Don't have to get off the boat kayak. I'll show y'all, for those that didn't see already, what I did yesterday. One of the jobs I did yesterday. Most of you have. I know that one job I bugged Robert a lot about. What's up? What's that channel's name? Welcome to my stream. I don't have a lot of time, Robert, but I will take a couple hours off on some Sundays. Here we go. Come on, focus. CB axle placement on that kayak. I did just eat beans tonight, Mater. Have you been watching my Instagram? or watching my Instagram, check this out. We originally from Kentucky, and Mama makes soup, beans, cornbread. Cornbread, real cornbread, not no Jiffy mix. And fried taters and greens. That was what was for dinner tonight. And there's the new CV axle on. You gonna do Instagram, Mater? Check out this, guys. Those that didn't see my Instagram, I drilled some holes through, tried out the sponsors' drill bits and drilled hose through a brake caliper brake rotor yesterday. And I'm hoping to have that video out soon. I did the video, but I got to reduce some parts of the video. Gotcha, 2 ATVs. What's up, Steven? Sit down here in my... I'm gonna miss when this guy comes and gets his Rancher tomorrow, Honda Rancher tomorrow. I've been using it to pull stuff out of the field that gets stuck. Awesome, Mater. I'm glad Viagra decided to sponsor you. What's up, Renegade? Ooh, guys, cuz some of y'all still don't follow Instagram. Mater. Check out what I won from Renegade's Garage, guys. Check that out. Look how it's fancy. I just got that in, what, a day or two ago? I can't remember. Oh. Right, Dave? So, Robert, it looks like we're going to probably, the guy wants to either put a Cooler Confidence where that Kawasaki used to be, or a Predator 708. I don't know nothing about a Predator other than it's a Predator. I'll put on whatever he brings. Me too. Okay, let me tell y'all. This is what I was about to talk about. I did 2 service calls yesterday, and this one lady. So sometimes I'll like cross a wire to check to see if it's that safety switch or whatever that is broke and causing the issue. And that woman the whole time sat there and criticized me. Oh, I don't want it rigged that way. Lady, I'm not trying to rig it that way. I can do probably what the dealership's going to do and replace every single one of your sensors and say, and then charge you for replacing all those sensors. Or I could find, or you could, shut up, let me do it the right way, and find what sensor is broken, and then I can fix that sensor and save you a little bit of money. Well, I'll just take it to Deere. I'll just take it to Deere. You know what, lady? Just take it to Deere. I probably have just as much search when it comes to small engines as that guy at Deere. So, and I've seen what work that guy at Deere did to it before before I got there to work on it, because she talked about all the work she had done to it and stuff. And I looked at the carburetor because it was surging, and you could tell it was an aftermarket carburetor. It didn't have the Nicky stamped in the side of the carburetor like they usually do. It's an aftermarket carburetor. And you know, sometimes those are good carburetors, sometimes they ain't, but customers like that is very stressful. And those are the real ones you really want to cuss out, and you try to stay I'm probably going to screw this up, and I know you've been to my house a million times with your dad, but I want to say your name is Travis, right, Ronald? Anyway, thanks for coming to my stream. How's the tire business going, the tire recycling business? I guess so, Dave. Robert always says Deere is a religion, not a mower company, so. Okay, Ronald. I'm so forgetful. It's because I know so many people named Travis or Trevor, and I don't know why I get those two names mixed up. My brain has a function. I guess. And you know what, Robert? It's John Deere mowers are junky anyway. But it was one of those E100s with the junky Briggs & Stratton engine, with the Nicky carburetor, you know, the singles. And obviously the guy did a valve job on it. Welcome to the stream, Josh. And because you could tell, because the amount of RTV around that, maybe that's why I'm getting it mixed up, Ronald. So there's like this much RTV like stuck to there. I mean, who does that? Oh, awesome. I might have to talk to you one day when if my tire company ever gets big, about how they work with the tire selling or taking them. I don't know what they charge to take the tires and stuff, but I'm sure it's cheaper to save a load and take it to a company like that, or get them to pick it up or whatever, than it is to take it to the city and pay what they charge. Right now, I don't do like that many tires. I haven't done a lot of tires yet. What little tires I have, it ain't as costly to take to the city, but I did pick up some new tools yesterday at Hazard Freight. Let me get over here and I'll show you what I picked up at Hazard Freight yesterday. I wasn't going to buy no more tools. I was going to take a break from buying tools for a little while. But so it's still about $3 a tire. Yeah, I'd still rather deal with a company like that though than dealing with the city. I'm about PO'd with the city of Killeen right now on their dump system. So I wasn't gonna buy no more tools, and I was working on the ATV out there doing a CV axle. And I couldn't find a pickle fork. So I had to go buy some pickle forks. I went ahead and just bought all the sets the hose set because I didn't know what size I needed for that job. So I bought the hose set. Bit pricey, but it's one of those jobs that pays really good. Those four-wheeler jobs pay really good, so it was no big deal. And I saw Dale talking about these. These are those Doyle flush cutters. Figured I'd do a lot of zip ties, so I might as well try them at $8.99. But I wasn't trying. I was trying to slow down on the tool buying and I was trying to save a little bit money back in the business bank account, Robert, not spend so much. But it would have been nice to have a little money just sitting in the bank account when it needed to be. But there's always that tool that you always need. No matter how many tools you got, I should have put this piece of foam in. I'll put it back in there later. That sounds about right, Robert. And usually, a lot of the times my tool buying here lately is if I need it for a job or something, I'll go out and buy the tool. Go ahead and buy the tool. I haven't been doing just like crazy tool buys here lately. Well, I've been hitting up that JT, the Jersey Discount Tool app pretty good. I want to break something. Hold on. We're going to break something. I feel like it would be a good string to break something on. I want to break something. I think I'll put the link so people can join when I'm done breaking stuff. Gotta break stuff. What's up, Nick? So check this out, guys. I will be showing you on the video soon of these. Check this. Left-handed drill bits. Lifetime warranty, guys. This is wait until y'all see the video. It's some cool stuff, but let's break some. I want to break some. Well, I've got a bolt in there. I want to break it. I'm telling you. That guy came today and called me to, was it yesterday or today? I can't remember. I told Robert and said I'm going to take my mower and get a second opinion about his bushing. But go ahead. He ended up though. He wants to put it in. They finally decided I was right, he was wrong. That's how it always goes. Trust me, I asked Robert, I asked Polar Bear Ed, I asked everybody I know before I called the guy and said, your engine's done. It's done. I talked to the two people I trusted the most on that. This is true, Robert. It ain't too pretty. All right. Oh no, I didn't break the head. Wait, did it? Did it? I didn't break the head this time. Damn it. Oh well. We're just gonna try breaking this. I guess I ain't breaking nothing on live stream. We're gonna break that bolt off and pull it out. It works great. Y'all just have to wait till the video, or I'm gonna have to re-drill, and thread a new hole. Awesome, Nick. Come across the pulley coming off. I have not, Dave. All right, guys, I'll put the link in if anybody wants to join. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm always take up all the live stream before I put the link out. I had the shop semi-clean and then earlier today, and then it was a mess again when we came back in here to do this. Wow, I literally went 23 minutes of just randomly by myself. What's up, motor detective? What? Everybody, hide the stuff. Hide it. Hide the stuff, everybody. 5-0's here. See, that's the thing. See, that's probably right there why I haven't seen it, Dave. I don't know why, but I don't see stand-up mowers here that often. In fact, I don't think I've ever worked on one. Everybody here just has regular zero turns with the. I've worked on walk behinds, but I haven't worked on stand-up zero turns. Yeah, there is some landscapers that have them here, but there's very few people. And, I asked one of the landscapers one time. He said it comes down to, would you rather stand up all day or would you rather sit down all day? Really? Trey went out of business? I wish, Dave. This is my uncle's. Yeah, exactly. I get y'all's points, but my customers say they'd rather sit down and mow. So, see mowers. I've never worked on it. I worked on a Dixon. I've never worked on a Dickey, and Dixon ain't in business no more. Dave and Robert can correct me if I'm, but I think Husqvarna bought Dixon and then just wow, dissolved the brand totally. Oh, go back to the kayak. So my uncle wanted to. We fish off our kayaks. We fish off our kayaks, and my uncle wanted an elevated seat. So we're building. I built this today, and we put some screw rivets in there so he can have a elevated seat instead of sitting down in it. I guess easier to cast. Oh, sorry guys. Man, I don't know why, but we had to order a key switch for a Gravely today, and even the aftermarket key switch for this Gravely 34Z was $38 for a key switch. What the heck is with key switch prices? What happened to the days you can get a key switch from 20 and down below? I had a customer, the Gravy 34Z I've been working on for years. Um, First, his wire was broken, and then his key switch went out. No receipts required. That's a good thing. That customer has been one of my longest customers, and he told me that he's thinking he's going to finally retire from it. I hate to see it, but I know he's starting to get a little older now, and Later, Dave. Renegade, do you remember that? I don't know if you remember that motorcycle he had, that Suzuki one. The one we sold to get the truck, the dolly. I mean, we didn't have it very long. We ain't much motorcycle riders. I'm too scared to ride in my town. These people are idiots. But I don't know if you remember that bike or not. Me talking about that bike. Well, my brother-in-law got a call today, a message on Facebook. So Robert, that's funny. This is getting to my story. So the guy called my brother-in-law today, messaged him and said, "Man, I think that's been about 6 months back now." He said that bike, the fuel line broke and it caught fire while I was going 80 miles an hour. And you got any more motorcycles for sale? Of course, we don't have any more motorcycles for sale. And then he got to telling the story is he didn't have insurance on it. So he pushed it in an old garage on his parents' property that had insurance. And then he set the shop on fire trying to get insurance that way. Well, you know, a good fire marshal looked right through that, and fire inspector looked right through that, and I'm amazed being in jail right now. Personally, I think if I was going to do something like that, I wouldn't go around telling the world, because that's just asking. Night, Steven. I like that. I like that card. I'm looking into doing some of the modifications. I don't have a whole lot of room in my shop right there, but I'm looking at doing the modifications to it. I'm trying to think if I want to go with the black trim like Jude did with the green card or not, or just leave it chrome. He had a lot of good ideas I've seen on his. Yeah, it's getting out of here tomorrow. He has a lot of good ideas. And then someone talked about, cause he did these spacers for his little thing, for his little screwdriver organizer. And one guy told him he can also use grommets, which got me thinking. I got some rubber grommets there. I could use those on my screwdriver parts down there at the bottom, and maybe those screwdrivers won't flop around, because you know some of the smaller screwdrivers flop around. I don't know if I'll do it or not yet. My luck, the grommets will just fall off, and Later, Dave. I still need to get a 3D printer. Robert's been trying to talk me into it. I got the money right now. I can go in there and order one right now if I want to. But I got a dog that's got a skin condition right now, and we're trying to see if the topical stuff works. For a few days, if that don't work, I'm gonna have to take him to the vet. So there goes all the money I would have to buy a 3D printer. And people think small engine mechanics are expensive. Yeah, I could use a big, and it's not. I need a garage, not as much to fill up, but more to bring bigger stuff in. I could bring the 4-wheelers in here to work on, but there ain't a whole lot of room to work around them. Where's my phone? Oh, someone asked me how much they owe me. Let's see. Axle and rear brakes. Then I'm gonna charge him 2 hours. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, I do too, Renegade. With like a little apartment or something above it, and then I never have to leave the shop. Heck, if I had a big enough shop, I'd just put a bed in the corner. Mater, don't make me say it again, Mater. Why are you doing this to me, Mater? So that same woman about the John Deere mower, when I told her my prices, my labor prices, she said, well, I can go to the doctor cheaper. I don't think she can, but I was thinking to myself, well, I guess then get your doctor to fix your mower. You know, I think Jeff, I could get away with a 40 by 40. I think everything. You know, look at this room. Look at this stuff I got in here now. A 40 by 40 gives me room for all this stuff and still room to work. I don't care about like I'll put like customer small stuff, mowers and um, weed eaters and stuff in here, something that's easy to steal. But 4-wheelers and stuff like that, they ain't gonna lift that over my gate, so they get left out. Hey Renegade, I'll give you a hint about Mater's sponsor. Think Little, Blue, and Pill. You'll understand, Renegade. What's up, Cajun? No, the Cub. Jeff, I was supposed to take it to take it to my buddies today, but it's such a swamp out there. I can't even get to my trailer. It's supposed to go to my buddies because I'm gonna use his bigger shop to work on it. What's up, Mudster? Like I said, I put my customer stuff outside other than like weed eaters and stuff. I do lock those up. I put them out like during the day when I'm here where I can watch them. So I have room in the shop, but what's up, Hot Rod? Ronald. Right now, I'm just sticking with what I got, and nah, it'll get fixed. I got the carburetor on to run it enough to get the blade up. It'll get fixed. I paid $200 for a decent clutch, not a cheapo this time. I am doing a panel. I put the link out, but nobody's joined. So anybody can join. It's an open panel. No invitation needed. Other than Mater. I'm just kidding, Mater. Check the old Instagram. Whatever you say, Mater. Sure you don't. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on there, Brandon?
Not much. Oh, check this out. We're going to get a full house. Look at that. Cajun.
Oh, look at that.
Mater.
See what I started?
Yep.
Dang, look at all the people popped up in here.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
really.
First time in a while. You remember how my streams used to be booming like this? I always had a full panel. Then I think people already just didn't like me no more and wouldn't join me on panels. So I just had to sit here and talk to myself.
I was like, what happened? What happened? I must have been behind on the live or something. I jump in and there's like, all my buddies are here all of a sudden. There was nobody here 30 seconds ago.
Well, I could tell he was feeling disappointed, so I figured I'd jump on a wagon.
Hey, Ray, the theme of the night is how to get a tray or a trailer, gooseneck trailer unstuck from a creek.
Hey, Jeff.
My buddy Ray,
hi.
Yeah.
Ran his trailer into the creek while he was pulling it out of the mud. Renegade.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I hope he's not stepping in something too deep.
No. Hey, Brandon, all I can say is, like what Crystal says, I don't need those little blue pills.
Okay.
And I always say, the only little blue pill I'll take is naproxen sodium. That's it.
Well, I got every pill here except for the blue one.
Ray, second
Like I said,
step
that's the only thing I don't need.
Bigger tractor, Ray. And don't ride on the trailer. I learned my lesson because I was on the trailer when it went over into the creek.
How was that ride?
Wow.
Yeah. That was a fun ride. It kind of threw me up a little. Right. It just was at a carnival.
Hey, Brandon, you want me to build you one of those Predator 670s to put on that kayak with the blower and everything?
I'm telling you, I could scoot across the river. I could probably make it. I think that river connects into the Colorado. I could just keep connecting the rivers and I'd make it all the way up there to you.
Probably start off in the backyard.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey.
Yeah, Crystal's waving at you, Wayne.
Waving back. I think. Well, there it is. Got to find that camera.
Yeah,
it's there. It's there.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, she's been a long day for her. So she's laying down here trying to rest.
So yeah, Crystal, Mater's a little much to take one day.
No.
It's not Mater, Brandon. It's everything else I had to do today.
I know. Yeah. I just picked on Mater.
I'll play this. She got here.
Saturdays.
Yeah. Now, up like this, she got here, and we were rushing to get the thing out of the pickup because that's when the downpour started. That's the main reason why I'm not out in my garage right now because I'm not going to go swimming out there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and we left half the stuff in the truck.
Yeah.
It's sealed, so oh well.
Yeah.
I started the generator in the rain so I could weld.
Did you?
Before the rain started the generator.
Oh.
To make sure you're standing in a water puddle where you did it?
Yeah, hey, exactly.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what you're doing with that little boat up in the shop for. Y'all got that much rain, Brandon?
Yeah, we actually do. Now, me and my uncle fish on our kayaks, and he wants a raised seat. He wants a seat raised up, so I built him this. We built this bar today, and it's going to have a raised seat for it. Because he wants a raised seat. Because he thinks it'll be easier to fish.
Hey, take it easy.
I tell you, we're not that far apart, Brandon, but I think we got more than y'all got.
Probably.
We got like 18 inches over here. Ooh. That's a lot of rain, man. That's a lot of mouillé.
Yeah.
That's a lot. We were Wednesday.
Yep. And
it didn't rain
the thing
most
about
of the
we got that tropical depression. Yeah.
We ain't had that much rain all spring.
We didn't get any rain Wednesday.
We left here to go to my daughter's.
You know, they got that depression out there.
Yeah, I think that's heading. It's ought to be in land by now, huh? Or tomorrow. That storm.
Something like that. Let me bring up my phone. Yeah, I haven't heard landfall at yet.
I don't even think it's named yet, is it? Or it might be. I don't know.
I haven't heard. I haven't heard, like I said, as far as what. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't heard Brad if it's going here in Texas, Louisiana, or anywhere else on the Gulf Coast.
I think it's called Tropical Depression Brandon.
I
can believe.
Well, Wednesday when we went to my daughter's, about 10 at night, we started getting a lot of rain. We was balling crawfish, and we had to move everything on her front porch, which good thing she had a big porch. Except for the crawfish pot and the burner. We didn't move that. We didn't have enough room for that. But so, we didn't want to handle all that hot water and hot burner and all that anyway. The rain ain't going to hurt that.
So you seen Cajun out there in like a rain jacket.
Right.
Now, we had umbrellas, believe it or not. The sun was out Wednesday for 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, man, I wish the clouds would come back over. So it give us some shade at like 4 in the afternoon. It was hot. It was like 90 degrees. And then all of a sudden, blam.
It was out here yesterday. It sucked.
It was hot up here today. It was about 87 degrees with 51% humidity inside the house. With the air conditioning running.
That's not good.
No, and outside was even worse.
I don't think we've hit 87 yet here. It's been a weird late spring in the south.
Yeah. We hit 87 today.
I'm going to be heading down to South Carolina during the Memorial Weekend, hitting Virginia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky.
That's called a road trip.
Hey, putting some more miles on that new truck.
There you go.
Well, somebody got to do it, huh?
You got it. You got it.
The warranty runs out over time, even if you don't put mileage. So you might as well put miles on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
my. Yep.
The new car warranty on my Jeep is still good.
Yep. I don't like right now. Rain, I can't get out there and ride the bike.
Yeah, I got too much gear to haul this trip around. Gonna be hauling all my cameras and stuff this trip.
Oh, that adds up in a hurry, huh?
Yeah, especially when you're hauling about $10,000 worth of cameras.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't think you want to pack that in saddlebags and stuff.
No.
Well, look, so everywhere up north is getting warm and we're staying cool. I think it all changed. I think north is going to be the new south and south is going to be the new north.
Up here it's been dumping about 2 inches of rain at night, and then the sun comes out in the morning and just starts cooking.
Oh yeah, man! The days we've had with the sun out, it's been really humid. It ain't been hot as humid. It's been really humid.
Yeah, but it's been so dry up here that the rain just disappears.
Yeah, it blows away before it even hits the ground, huh?
Yeah, because everything up here, we didn't get enough snow this year, and I'll admit it, we did not get enough. We're probably lacking about 25 to 30 inches of snow this year.
I think it's because y'all sent it down here.
Yeah, that's where it's been. It's been down there. All the snow and all that rain is staying Ohio and south.
And we weren't prepared for it. We didn't have that kind of
Arkansas and south.
That kind of snow.
Well, Ohio got dumped on. Look at Ed and all them.
Yeah.
I wished it snowed where I live in South Carolina, but we haven't really gotten any snow in the past 2 or 3 years. Maybe like a drop. But
snow.
We'll pay for it. It probably either this coming year or the next or the following year. We'll probably go back to that heavy snow.
Well, I'm all ready for it this year.
Well, we had back in February. Well, Brandon knows about it, but I think this was the first time ever that every single county in the state of Texas was under a severe winter warning. And that's something when you get every single county.
Yeah. Yeah, especially down around in the valley down there, around Brownsville, McAllen, and all that. Yeah, Victoria.
I know 6 inches don't sound like a lot to you northern guys, but that was a lot for down here.
Yeah, but I bet that thing brought everybody to a stop.
Yeah, I've been down in Tennessee and Kentucky and that during December. Oh, yeah. Get a couple of inches of snow down there. It's treacherous.
Well, Brandon's down there where they don't even know what a snow shovel is yet.
The biggest problem here in Texas is that, the problem for us down here in Texas is we don't get it that much except for like the Panhandle where Amarillo's at. And so once it starts coming down, everybody can hit it off.
I know I went to bed down Tennessee one time.
I think the last time I seen anything like that,
snow.
I think the worst storm I've seen was back in '86. I went from Dallas down to Houston, and it was snowing all the way.
I know I spent
it snowed all the way down to Houston and beyond.
Hey, I was gonna ask, do you guys know about like the older Kohler motors that have like the coil packs and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I happened to buy this old case. It's a 220 model, and it's been giving me a little bit of issues today since I bought it. It's got a 10 horse K241. And the problem is, in the coil pack on this is it keeps popping, like on the top of the coil, it keeps popping off, and it looks like it's broke.
You might have to replace your wire.
Yeah, I was looking online, but I couldn't figure out where the wire, or where to get one of these at. The wire that goes to the coil to the spark plug.
And me and Ray, I've done this for Ray too. Is you can use get like a single wire at the auto parts store. You know, they sell them for older cars. It works for those. Sometimes they're a little bit long, but you can cut those down.
You want to get a wire that's got the solid metal core in them.
Right, yeah, not the stranded, correct.
Yeah, you want that solid metal core. You want that, because if you're going to be having all sorts of trouble if you put a resistor wire in.
What is the where the wire goes to the coil itself? Is that like the old S5s and S6s, the old Briggs type coil? Or is the wire made into the coil itself?
No. The wire is like, the coil is on those is like a old car coil.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Their top, so you can actually get that spark plug wire that's made like that. That's for those old cars.
Right.
At the auto parts store. What's that company? Azell or whatever.
Okay, I didn't realize they had that automotive coil on there.
Yeah, those cables are designed that you can cut them down to the length that you need them.
Right.
If that wire is long enough, you can just replace the end on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I personally have a bunch of these caps that I keep around for that. Let me see.
Yeah, this carburetor on this is brand new. I think they got a China carburetor for it. I gotta get a new plate to go over the carburetor. I tell you what, the fastest regular lawnmower I think I've ever bought. This thing can do like 15 miles an hour and high. So it's a little crazy.
My park stall up there.
Oh, it's faster than mine. Mine never see 15 miles an hour.
I was going to ask any of you guys, have you ever heard of an Anago tractor?
Not yet.
Anago.
It's called an Anago. It's solid it's got a solid cast iron front, hooked to the cast iron frame, going right on back to the transmission. It's like one big piece.
Spell that Anago.
It's AG and something. No, I think there's something like it's down. I got it down to my mask. The only thing is, I got to split the case because it's only got 2 forward speeds, high and low. In the large gear, somebody chipped about 4 or 5 teeth out of it.
Oh, not good.
That's fun.
Well, put it in low. You put it in low gear, you can tow a car with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hook. I hooked onto an old car while it's in park, and you can pull it.
Wow.
That thing's got more power than ever. That thing weighs, it's got to weigh 1,500, 2,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
That thing's like a brick. It's the only one I've ever seen. It's the only one I've ever seen. I don't know. I got it from a guy. I paid $50 for it, and I knew it had problems, but the big thing is I'm seeing about the gears, and the gears inside are not on the transmission are not casted; they're steel.
Right.
So I was going to see about getting it. I was going to take it to a machine shop and have them cut a section out and section it.
But take your best guess. It's how it's spelled and type it in the chat for me.
I can't even get into the. I just. Oh boy, it's
that's all right. Never mind.
Anago, and it starts with an A. That's all and it's got go on the end. Anago or something like that. That's all I can. But I believe
Antigo, probably ANTI go.
Go, or maybe that might be it. It's because the front end of the track, it's got multi layers of paint on it. I've been looking for serial numbers or some kind of identification tag on it, and I can't find anything. And I just run it by anybody that and see if anybody
The name sounds familiar, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I've never seen one, but I've heard the name.
Yeah.
I can't remember where though.
I know. I mentioned it once before, and Ed thought I was singing, as Amigos or something. No, it's not that. But it's an old tractor. It's one of those things that they maybe made a few of them, and it never caught on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you ever heard of a Simplicity Baron S?
Baron S.
I happened to buy 2 mowers today. I bought the Case 220, and then I also got this Simplicity 3445, or it's a 3414S, and it says Baron S on the front, and it's got one of those really, really old Briggs and Stratton motors in it.
Those are great engines. The carburetors are just a little finicky, but when they was tuned right and run good, those are the best flathead engines. They have a lot of power.
Yeah, my neighbor has one that's a 16 horse on a Columbia tractor. It's an MTD tractor from I think 1975 or something, but she wouldn't let me buy it. But I mean, it crunk up and run and everything.
I looked up that Antigo. It's ANTIGO.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Ronald. I ain't gonna try to say his last name. I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, they were made in Wisconsin.
Okay.
All the
I've
good
seen
stuff
that.
made in Wisconsin.
I've seen that in my Google search. So that's one of them small time companies like Tomboy. Instead of Lawn Boy, Tomboy, they were made in Missouri. That really wasn't a small company. That was a good sized company. In fact, the granddaughter lives right here in New Orleans.
I'll be right back, guys. Hang on.
I had made a video on that lawnmower. It was like a magnesium or aluminum frame, looked just like a Lawn Boy, but it had a Briggs and Stratton 3.5 horse on it. She said, "Boo, you are bringing back memories for me. My grandfather owned that company. I remember as a child, I used to play, in the plant with all the workers and stuff, and they were my babysitters." So yeah, that's probably not a huge company and not a small company.
Yeah, I got one of those aluminum. They call them Mo Boys. Push mower, 3-wheel.
You know, actually, the one I'm talking about, the Tomboy, was a 4-wheel, and it looked just like a lawn boy.
Oh, this one, I got one. It's a solid aluminum 3-wheel, and I kept the frame because you know you always you always got rotted mower decks.
Okay, 3-wheel. You mean something like a Yazoo, the old Yazoos?
No, this is a 3-wheel push mower.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
One on the front.
It has one on the front, or it has like 2 in the back, one on one side, or
Right.
one exactly in the
Well,
front.
a lot of old mower companies did that. I got a Montgomery Warts up there that's like that. A lot of the old push mower companies built decks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure it's not magnesium?
Oh, it could be magnesium.
Okay.
But it's heavy.
Oh, it's heavy?
Say,
well, maybe the engine's making it heavy because magnesium's light.
Well, this thing, I mean, you can lift it. Right? You compare it to the stamped steel things, it outweighs it.
Yeah. Stamped steel. No. Those, no. I like those old frames like you talking about.
I turn around and when I find the right motors for them, I like to find those Vanguards and put on them. Because Vanguard holds up good. It's just that this one needs it's got a like a 2.5 inch longer shaft than most of the motors do. It had a Clinton on it.
Me and Cajun was talking about this on one stream. Vanguard is actually, they're a Briggs & Stratton company, but they're actually made in Japan by a company that's owned by Toyota, or used to be. I think they're bringing them, or something.
Yeah,
with them.
They brought Vanguard plants back to U.S. Trump took care of that. They making the Vanguard in the U.S. now. For us. And that was like I got that update from my Briggs, because I'm a Briggs & Stratton dealer, just like Brandon is now. He's a Briggs dealer also now, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, everyone likes those Briggs.
Well, the
I'm
cheapest
independent shop, but they let me get my certs from them now.
Right. Yeah, with power distributors.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see paying $189 for something that's got a plastic carburetor on it for a push mower.
But you know what? I have to say this about them. Those carburetors are the most simple carburetors to clean.
Oh yeah, they are.
Clean. Yeah, but you touch one drop of carburetor cleaner and it's screwed. You know,
not always. I have cleaned them with carburetor cleaner.
Me too.
It's just gotta make sure you gotta blow them out good. I blow them out with air.
Well, see, some of them I've run into, if they've got a metal, for the float, if they got a metal, that metal stopper, it's fine. But if they're using a plastic plunger with a rubber boot on the end, them things will swell right up and fall right off.
Well, you got to be careful about those. What you got to do is you got to be careful with those seals. You can take them off when you clean them.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I just hold them in my hand like this and try to protect them from the cleaner. I haven't had one. I can take those carburetors apart and probably have them put back together and on the mower within 15 minutes.
Well, I find if you replace it with a metal one, they work perfect.
Are you talking about the carbs on the new E-Series engines?
These are the little 3.5 horse Briggs & Strattons with that plastic carburetors on them.
Yeah, the one on the left side of the engine, on the port side, like when you're pushing it, it's on the left side instead of the right side.
Yeah, I had one in here the other day, and I just threw another carburetor on it. It was cheaper than buying the repair kit.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying because those right there are like a push fit, those carbs. They just push in, and then you have your bracket that goes on the outside with your filter, and that's what actually holds the carburetor on the engine.
Yeah.
I got a quick question. How would I tell them what year this case I bought was made? Because this is a product number on it, but
so Hot Rod, go to there's a website that I follow. These old guys know more about car and tractors than probably most of us here. Tractorsfanatics.com. Those old guys will be able to tell you the year of it. If not that, contact Sippo. Sippo would know.
Is it
also in the right direction?
Yeah, in fact, I sent Zip an email earlier about doing a live stream. Me, Zip, Brandon, Steve.
Yeah, I've been trying to get. Zippo said he'd join a stream one day, but my streams are always so late. I need to do a day where I can do it early in the day. That really hurts. It's hard to get some of those people in here like that because my streams are always late.
Zippo's an hour ahead of us too.
Yeah, he's in Indiana.
Right.
Reason I do late stream, guys, is because I work a lot. So this is usually about the only time that I have about free.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the day on a Saturday, that's kind of hard for me to do a live stream.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler at night too to work.
Yeah, I will say that. It was really hot today. I couldn't really do much. It was burning hot. It had to be probably about 90.
You know, it was hot enough. It took me most of the day just to finish up the 3-point setup on my tractor.
That's the only thing I don't like about that old farm off cut. You know, you got the draw point system. It literally takes two people oftentimes to set up an implement. You just can't quickly go and hook up.
You don't have the quick hitch, huh?
Nope.
If I could have caught the two tractors I bought earlier, I would have got a tiller implement for this case and a front plow like a snow plow, but the guy had already sold them like before I could get to it. That would have been really nice to have.
Yeah.
In about 6 months from now, I'm going to be in the market for a good 4 to 8N or 9N tractor.
Oh, an 8N, huh? Well, I actually I know a neighbor that's selling one.
Really?
Yeah, it's a 52 8N. He wants $2,000 for it.
Hey, that ain't bad.
It's got a few issues. I'm gonna say the motor probably needs a little bit of a rebuild. It smokes, but
most old tractors smoke a little though. My old Cub smokes a little. The oil never goes down. I keep the oil checked. It smokes a little bit. It don't smoke bad, but it smokes a hair. So I was going to rebuild the engine, and all the old tractor guys said, "Don't worry about it until it starts burning a lot of oil."
Right.
Yeah, it's got brand new tires on it. He had to put a new alternator on it.
Oh, he went from the well, I don't know about the 8. Wait, didn't they have a 6-volt system on those at first?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you convert it to the 12-volt single wire like my.
His is a 12-volt.
Yeah.
Like the Super A's, those were 6-volt, and then they were converted to the 12 volts. Mine was converted. We gotta read it out one.
Yeah, I think his has already been converted.
I didn't have enough money to buy out my buddy, so he just went on ahead and sold it and gave me the money I had into it. So, but I tell you what, them Super A's, oh man, that's some awesome tractor. The only downfall, they got that Pitman bar in the back. You got to hand load your tools on that 2-inch square bar and then tighten them up and all that. That's why I'm looking for a 8N or a 9N where they got a 3-point hitch on it.
Yeah, that one, he's got a hitch and I think it's like a 5.5 or 6 or however they put it. Like it's got 3 blades on it, but it's like a mower.
Yeah,
I don't know if that goes with it or not, but he just bought a brand new John Deere tractor and he wants that one going.
Oh, okay. What you got there, Brandon? Alternator?
Alternator. That's what the Cubs getting converted over to 12 volts.
Right. That a single wire system?
Yep.
Okay.
Good old GM single wire. You can convert anything. 12 volt with that.
You're gonna have to put a switch on that for the exciter to excite the alternator when you start it.
You know what?
No.
I don't really know, and I don't think I have to do a lot with mine because I don't have the 6-volt system. I don't have this 6-volt coil system on there, so I don't have to replace the coil. Mine's a magneto.
Oh, okay.
I know on that dude's tractor, all you got to do is
I don't have the coil at all on it.
Choke out. Pull the choke out once and give it a little throttle and cranks right up.
You still got points and condensers on there, right?
Yeah.
I got points and condensers on the Cub.
Yeah, because we were going to change the points and condenser system to electronic the next time the points went out, but they never went out because I had everything installed right on it. Randy had it where I don't know why he would burn 2 sets a year, and I'm like, Randy, you got to be doing something wrong. So I went through it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. When I changed them out, I found out that he had that one wire going to where it wasn't supposed to be going, and I installed a switch on the exciter for the alternator.
Yeah.
Right when you start it up, you flip that switch. It's a momentary switch. You push it up, and the spring will pop it back down, and that'll excite your alternator. Well, and if you let your battery go dead on those, you burn your points and maybe your condenser. One time I only had to change the points. I didn't have to change the condenser. One time I had to change it. I mean, I was like, something's wrong, Randy. You got something hooked up wrong. And sure enough, but he bought the tractor like that. And then I came into the tractor a little later on, about a year later. He got the tractor, and the engine was overhauled. It had the 12-volt system on it. And he changed something on the alternator system. Now, I don't know what he did, but, well, I do know what he did. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I got it right. It took a few phone calls and some, like, head scratching.
Welcome to my stream.
12 feet, huh?
Try to check the weather. The wind's got kind of high, so I kind of want to check the weather.
Time to turn the AC on.
For me right now, it feels nice and cool outside. It'd be the time to work.
It's nice and cool here, but a mud pit outside my shop doors.
Perfect temperature, I'll say.
I tested the customer's 4-wheeler after the CV axles earlier.
I wish I could get more jobs, but it's kind of hard.
I started Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. That's how I'm getting a lot of my jobs. And then after people came to know me, it's all word of mouth. I get a lot of business by word of mouth.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get word of mouth. I think I've only had like one person do it so far. I've probably done about 30 jobs so far. I mean, I'm basically just getting into it, but I got a few ads up on Facebook, and that's where they've all been coming from.
Let me tell you right now, word for the wise is I used to, when I first started out, I used to have my rates cheap, like $20 or something. Fix your mower.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have hardly any customers. And so I talked to a guy I know down an hour away from me down towards Austin, and he said, with your prices low, no one's taking you serious. Raise your prices up, they'll take you more serious. So I raised my rates up to $50 an hour, and boom, started getting swamped with repairs.
Oh, really?
It's kind of weird how that works.
Well, I figured, people would want to come to me because, one, I'm not really working on anything right now, and two, I have good prices, but I guess they think I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly. So they think when you got your prices cheap like that, that you're just another shade tree mechanic going to do a junky or a bad job on their piece of equipment. So that's the way they're thinking.
I can definitely say that I'm better than the neighbors down the road because they have one of these Kohler command engines, like this one over here on a John Deere L130. And the thing is going up, down, up, down, up, down. So he's like, well, I'm just going to give it back to the people. Well, what he does is, because it's doing that, is he sets it to where, like, it's about, like, on this one, he sets it to, like, where it's half up on the choke, because it would run decent like that. And he set it to where that would be, like, the lowest part of the choke. I mean, that's just not even right.
No, it's
how you
not.
fix something.
No, that's a bad way to do business, and that'll eventually catch up with you. Everybody that does that eventually catches up to them.
Hey, those Kohler commands are good engines. Those Kohler Command Pros, that's like one of the top of the line engine that Kohler makes. Like Vanguard is the top of the line that Briggs makes.
And
I got them on everything.
I never had issues with a lot of surging on those commands. So he didn't do the carburetor right on there, or he's got a leaky intake gasket.
Yeah, something on the intake. You got unmetered air, unwanted air going in, or the carb.
I think these Magnums are pretty good engines too. All I did was replace 2 head gaskets on this and clean the carburetor, and really haven't had per se that bad of problems out of it. It just cuts off every once in a while. It's like it randomly acts up and it acts just fine after.
The Kohler Magnum?
Yeah.
Oh, those are good engines. That's a cast iron block.
That was the top of the line before they came out with the commands. I have another one right here.
What was it? Troy built on them big old tillers they made, them big horse tillers. They had the Kohler Magnums on there, and that was cast iron. But I tell you what, it's hard finding parts, starters and stuff. You got to put brushes in them yourself. And,
is that Magnums or Case? I thought they were Case back then.
What? No, the Magnums. Well, on the ones I've worked on. I'm talking about the Troy built tillers with the reverse. You know, the older 70 models. And,
something like this.
Yeah, there's 3 people that have them with Magnums on it. One's an 8 horse, one's a 10 horse. The other one is a 10 also, I think.
Well, Troy built tillers. They had a weird selection of engines throughout the years. So from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you could have had a Kohler. You could have had a Tecumseh. They went back and forth in different models from year to year.
Wisconsin on it too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Magnums are bulletproof, man. They are. They bulletproof in Magnums.
Well, like my M12, what I understand about, because I had an M12 on my wheel horse. The M12 is pretty much the same block as a K301. It's just upgraded stuff to it.
Oh, okay.
You got electric ignition. It is a different carburetor. I think it's a Carter carburetor. No, not Carter. I can't remember. Something like that. All it is a modern. They updated the K series with the Magnum and just added modern stuff. Kind of like, the Flathead Briggs 5 horsepower. They had years they had points, and then they slowly started going to like the electric ignitions into the magnetos and stuff as they went on, and the way the governor worked and stuff as years went on.
Oh, and that's another thing. Since Brandon mentioned the governors on there, if your governor's not quite right, that could cause you in and out, you're surging.
Yeah, that's from what I've seen of the commands. That's not a very common issue.
Well, it's not common, but it happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can't find a leak, an intake leak, or something with the carb, like if you put another carb on it from a known good running engine, and your problem goes away, then it's the carb. If it don't go away and there's no intake leaks at all, I think okay. I was one of the main guys on a forum, a small engine forum, and this guy could not get his engine running right. He had that hammering and not run right, and I think it went 6 months. He finally listened to me. It was his intake. He had the twin cylinder Briggs, and they had the I forget what Johnny calls that. Call that a snail intake.
Yeah.
The double intake. And he bought a metal intake instead of the plastic one. And his problems went away. He said, man, I should have listened to you 6 months ago. I done spent like $400 on this engine already. I mean, he even overhauled the engine. He went to that extent. And I'm like, man, please don't do that. He did it anyway. Oh, you call it? Yeah.
I had a 15 horsepower Briggs that was on my old SS15, and I already built the carburetor about 5 or 6 times. It still had a mist, and I couldn't get that mist out of there no matter what I did. Points, I went to electric ignition, I went everything, and it ended up being I took the engine back apart, and it was pitting around the valve seat. I took a valve seat cutter and cut that out and redid the valve seat. The mist went away.
Oh, speaking of specialty tools, like you just did with your valve seat cutter, Harbor Freight, if y'all can get it, get it. And if y'all can get 2 of them, I'll send you the money for it and to ship it to me. It's a leak down tester by Harbor Freight. And it's the, I think the 92410 or something like that. They were on clearance for $24, $25.
Well, I got one of those. And I've talked to several people because I've had issues, and it shows a leak on almost every engine the last few times I did it. And some of these engines are fully running. So a lot of people saying that Harbor Freight's gauges ain't always the most correct.
Well, any engine's not going to be a perfect tight seal. You know, no engine's going to be perfect. You're going to have some kind of leakage.
40 and 50% leaks.
30% is acceptable. 25-30% is acceptable on most small engines. It just depends on where it's at.
But 50 and 60, that's a lot.
Oh no, yeah, that's way too much.
There's something all right about this thing. I want to go. Robert Waters told me about this one Proto one. He said that's one of the best ones on the market. I think it's close to $70. Yeah, it's going to cost me a bit of money, but it's a good investment.
Yeah, it is. It is. OTC makes a awesome one. Double wide 6. Has a video out on the OTC one.
I think the OTC one's about in that price range too.
You can get an OTC for $65.
Yeah.
With discount tools. If you Google OTC 6590, I think it is, or something like that. I forgot. You're gonna get a few hits on it. You know, a bunch of hits, links, and Discount Tools is the one that's got it for $65. Yeah. But it's like $15 shipping.
So
but
anyways,
Summit Racing has one. Summit Racing has one that's just like the Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Jeff.
Sure. See you next time.
See you next time.
Oh, Jeff's gone?
Yeah.
Later, Jeff. Summit Racing has one that looks just like the Pittsburgh, and it's I think $34.
Yeah, I had to have a long conversation with the sponsor.
You look sad. You look sad, Mater. Look at you.
I'm very happy. It's like this.
They tell you no more pills.
So great. No, it's none of those blue pills you keep trying to get me to sell. But I put like this: everybody is going to be very surprised when it's all revealed tomorrow. Hey, Mark. Mark C. Crystal's waving at you, Mark.
You might not see it, Crystal, but Mark C could be waving at you too.
That's a possibility.
All right, I'm gonna put that link in the chat for that.
Okay, Cajun, appreciate it.
There it is. That's the one for that OTC. It's like $65, 2 discount, and that's one of the top of the line leak down testers they got. It don't show you the percentages, but if you put it at 90 pounds, like a double wide 6 does, he put 90 pounds in that one video he's got. I saw that video, I forget how long ago. That was like 2-3 years ago, probably. Anyway, his engine was showing 80 pounds, so that's 10%. Well, not even 10%. That would have been like 8% or something like that. So that was, very, very much intolerant.
Yeah.
And I think that one's $15 shipping. Oh no, wait a minute. I didn't even check the shipping on that one.
Mater, Mike says you like wooden nickels.
Legally.
I need to go get me a drink,
That's
but I'm
friend.
too lazy to walk through the mud.
I'm not on camera, but I am on vocal.
Only 3 people in the chat. What the heck's going on, guys?
What now? Sorry.
Here, plug that in.
You're that Brandon.
I'm telling you. I don't know what happened. Everybody just stopped coming to my streams here anymore.
Shut the curtain.
You know what, Mater? I'm going to start. Yes, it's a kayak. I'm going to start drama, Mater. I'm going to start a fight with somebody. That's how you got to get people to your stream. That Mater, let me talk about that Mater. Mater did this. See, I'm going to start drama. Then more people come to my YouTube channel. That's how I got to do it. I told him a long time ago. Someone told me, well, you need the drama to grow your channel. I told him, well, if I have to have the drama to grow my channel, then I don't want a YouTube channel at all. It's not worth it. I have 2 sisters. I grew up with 2 sisters. That's drama.
Yeah, I bet so.
Especially when they get about 11 to 13.
Yep.
Aren't they older than you, Brandon?
They are.
So you got the hand-me-downs?
Oh boy!
Down. I was the baby. I got everything. They just like me because I got every. Mama, I'm the only boy and the baby of the family, so I got away with a lot. All up until my nieces and nephews was born, and then it all became about the grandbabies.
And Mark, the only wooden nickel I'll take is from a drugstore Indian.
See, Mark, I was going to do a giveaway. I hit 1,500, so I was going to do a giveaway. But if nobody's going to watch it, so what's the point of doing it? I give away money right now. I'll go and get an Amazon gift card and give it away right now on the internet. But nobody's watching, so what's the point?
You put giveaway in the title, you're gonna get all kind of people in there from all over the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you have like 100 people
Oh
in
yeah.
here.
But they won't come back. They won't come back to my regular live streams. Y'all know how my live streams used to be. 20 to 30 people at a time was in my live streams. I don't know what I did. I stayed out of these fights. All these people on YouTube are fighting with each other. I stayed out of it. I didn't pick sides. I didn't want none of to do with it. But in the end, their channels are still getting all these views because of the drama, and I'm sitting here with hardly anybody.
Oh, you are. You still got people. You remember you took that little hiatus about a year ago?
Yeah, about August, went to Florida. It was very hot out in this shop to do a live stream. Even at 8 o'clock at night, it was extremely hot.
Right. That's why I was doing a lot of work at night myself.
But who knows? This year might be different. It might get super hot because the spring's been so weird, or it could be cool all summer, and then next year we get hit with really, really bad heat. So who knows?
Yeah. When it got too hot or too cold, I got my folding table. One of them $40 jobs from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
The big ones, not the little small ones, the bigger ones. And I unfolded that, and I overhauled like 3 or 4 engines right here in my kitchen, in my house. Because those classic engines, oh man, those are worth overhauling. Like the old L heads, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those right there are well worth overhauling.
I'm telling you, I should get a cheap kayak because I don't want to do it to one of the expensive kayaks and put a motor on there just for the heck of it. A gasoline motor. But in Texas, I don't know how it is in Louisiana and the other states, but in Texas, even if you put one on a kayak, you have to go get registered as a regular boat.
Right. Any motor, even a trolling motor. I think it's in Louisiana, even a trolling motor, you have to get a registration on it. And that don't make no sense.
It don't.
Uh-oh.
Luckily where I live.
That's Mater.
Luckily where I live.
I just feel like, and I've been feeling about this a long time, and I'm just talking about it now, is that I didn't get involved in any of that drama, and for some reason it affected me. Every time this happened twice on here. First with the whole small engine nation crap that they tried to drag me into, and I wouldn't take sides, and then whatever happened, and then all of a sudden I don't have no viewers from either side. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't take your sides. I don't want the drama, guys. I hate it. It's bull crap.
Just like in the coin community, they got drama. You know, that's any community. You know, small engines, coins, hot rod engines or whatever. You're gonna have that, but they have some drama going on now. And I just stay neutral in it, you know.
Yeah. And I can tell you, explain you. I haven't mentioned any about the small engine nation stuff, but I can tell you exactly what happened. There was 2 people wanting control of it, and that's what happened. There was 2 different sides wanting control of it, and the main guy, he was retired from trucking. He just didn't want much to do with it no more. He didn't want to know the drama, so he wasn't there no more. Because he did keep them. Stacy kept them in line. Back when he was a Bob's, he kept him in line. But who can blame him, man? He's been on the road for all these years. He's enjoying his family. So who can blame him from taking off from YouTube and enjoying his family? No one can blame him. What's up, Jehu?
Yeah. Hey, Jehu. Mark C.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to bounce out of here because Crystal's not feeling good right now, so the light and everything is bothering her. She got a little bit of a headache going on, and no, it's not because of what you would think, but it's just the fact is that, like I said, she's been up since what, 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she is tired, especially with packing her truck and everything.
Mater, I was going to say, her headache is talking right now. Sorry, Mater, you don't have to pick on you.
Brandon, I've been up and running since 5, and I am tired.
I know, Crystal. Yeah. The other night I was up until 2 o'clock and then I woke up at 7 o'clock.
I would rather have this headache that was talking than what I have now.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night.
All right, y'all night, and
later,
I'll see y'all tomorrow. 1 o'clock. All right, have a good night.
Night, guys.
Hope you feel better, Chris.
Hey, Mater.
Night, Mater.
And you know what, guys? I'm just going to flat out say it. I stopped going to everybody's streams because, well, I go to occasions when I can. I do watch their streams occasion when I can.
Thank you.
I stopped going to a lot of people's streams because they ain't watching me. They ain't here supporting me. I worked hard and supported them, and they stopped supporting me. They no longer show up to my streams like they used to. I stopped watching them. I like these guys, but it's too much. Like, you leave me abandoned. I used to have all these people, and now I have nobody because, I don't know. It's just my way of thinking. I'm probably overthinking it. I do that a lot, but.
You know, there's a few people that did get off of YouTube for a while, too. Like me, I took a break, you know, from YouTube.
Well, I'll take a break. I'll go and often. I'll take a few weeks off or something because YouTube can get overwhelming. It can become too much. You just got to walk away from it sometimes. It gets where it don't become fun no more, and that's when you have to walk away.
Yeah. Well, you see, like Stacy, he got hurt real bad right before he retired.
Yeah.
You know, he had a bad accident off of that trailer, you know. Fell and broke I don't know what, you know.
Well, and no one could blame him because he is enjoying his family. If I was in his position, been on the road for 30 years and spent a lot of time with my family, retired. So family or YouTube, and my family, screw YouTube.
Down below. Sorry about that.
Oh, didn't hear nothing. What'd you do? Poop?
No, the wife was looking for her camera. She left it laying on the bed, but I moved it.
Oh, okay.
BW's here. I don't see BW. BW, if you're here, hi. I didn't see you.
I haven't been on that much lately either. I've kind of been so busy with everything else going on in my life that I've probably cut down to probably about 20% of what I used to do.
I think I'm down to like 10% of what I used to do. I
was
on like 4 days, 5 days a week with my wheels of silver.
I used to do the same thing. And you know what? My business got busier. YouTube is fun, but it don't pay the bills. My work pays the bills, and I got busy. So I have slowed down on the YouTube content and posting once every 2 weeks or so when I can, or little short clips of the day or something. But I haven't been posting. I used to post every day, multiple times a day sometimes.
Well, some of the content on some of the not the streams, but the videos have gotten a little long. So if they keep it short, to that 5-10 minute point, it's not bad. But when it goes into a half-hour videos, about something, then it tends to, Yeah,
well, a lot of my videos are 10 minutes, but there's some videos that when I'm trying to show everything, they will get 20 to 30 minutes. But I want to show everybody everything on there. And those videos I put a lot of editing into to get to it, that point. So it could be like hours of footage. I edit it down to 30 minutes.
Yeah, because you probably got an hour and a half, 2 hours of footage that you condense it down to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't mind watching a 30-minute video if there's 30 minutes worth of good stuff on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Good content.
Yeah, right, correct.
My problem is sometimes when people do nothing but complain all the way through the video, I can't watch that. Or somebody that repeats on top. They'll keep repeating what they, and it's like they're apologizing to you, they're sorry. Hey, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what the content of what you're trying to put across to us was repairing an engine or pulling an engine or doing a transmission or a problem you're having. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear the other things, you know. Keep it on subject online, you know, with what you're talking about.
I have to do a lot of editing because some jobs require a lot of cussing. So I have to edit all those cuss words.
Trust me, I curse a lot too. I try not to, but hard. It's hard.
This goes with the trade.
That's one of those things I've tried all my life to do not to do is, and I bite my tongue quite a bit. I mean, I might curse under my breath, but I try not to use the words. I mean, I'm not saying I don't swear once in a while, but I try pretty hard not to, you know.
So I make it a point to never. So I might use the language out here in the shop by myself, but I make it a point, and I told my cousin this multiple times when he was working here. You don't use that kind of language in front of the customers. Stay professional. We might not be in the biggest fancy shop, but we got to stay professional like we are.
Right. It turns people off.
Yeah. And especially, you never know who's going to show up on this property with repair. I've had majors in the Army come in and bring repairs. Those people, they want respect. They want a lot of respect when they come into the shop.
Right.
And I know Robert, that guy BS Engines, he sucks.
Well, you gotta keep your and you don't. I've walked into some places, and the guys start talking about their personal life. I don't want to hear about your personal life. I'm here to get a part or whatever. You know, I don't want to hear what your life's problems are, unless you know.
There is some customers that's been around forever with me. And we talk about our families. We talk about fishing. Some of those old guys come just to sit around and talk. It's the smallest repair, and they're bringing it in just to sit around and have to talk. I get a lot of those old Vietnam vet guys, and they just love to sit and talk. And I listen.
Well, I mean, they're talking about fishing or something else, but you get some of these guys, and they start talking about their personal lives or their girlfriends and whatever. I don't want to hear your adventures. I
guess you could say my shop's my life, so it's probably I guess my shop's my girlfriend because that's all I got.
Well, I can give you a good example of a 20 or whatever minute video. Zippo Varga, he put one out today. But he went through the front, the back, the middle, underneath, over the top, down around the sides, up the sides. He had everything in that video. You know, there was nothing repeated except for him saying pivot points. You know, you need to do your pivot points, which that's true, you know, but he was showing all different pivot points too. You know, not the same one over and over. So that's a good example of a good video.
Caden, did you see my Kohler Command valve install video?
No, I didn't. I need to.
So there is 3 parts to that because I went by the manual and showed each part. So I did it in 3 videos, and each video was almost 30 minutes long showing everybody. But I also, in case someone just needed to see certain parts, I put it in the chapters because you can do chapters on YouTube. So they can skip a part to a certain chapter and see the part that they need.
Yeah, you talking about the chapters in the timeline on the bottom? Yeah, I like that. I don't know how to do it, but I like it.
It's just you just put different timestamps. I think you have to have at least 3 timestamps down in your description.
Okay, and you have to do like you have to have one of those programs to do that with editing program.
No, I just do it straight up on YouTube in the description. You just put intro 0, 0, and then you.
Yeah, got you. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold
on. Right, Robert? It might put some people to sleep, but it's very thorough. It's straight up, word to word of what the manual went through. Says. I did everything to the manual, and then I edited I put the chapters and everything so people can skip through to a certain part. Because there's sometimes I watch a video on a repair and I need to know something, and I'll just skip to the part where I need to know. I don't always watch the whole video on a how-to video. Not gonna lie. Especially when they do a lot of talking at the first of it. When they do like 3 or 4 minutes of just talking. I'm like, dude, get to the point.
I noticed there's a lot more sponsors being introduced to the videos lately.
Yeah, I actually picked up a sponsor. I just got to do one video on it, or I got to do a video on it. It's, there's a lot of Amazon. There's always been a lot of Amazon review sponsors that you do. I've done those videos before. You do one little super short video and you get something free. I mean, I do it before. Not gonna lie, free stuff's free stuff. But I do actually have a big sponsor that I have to finish the video on. I never said anything. I've always been the kind of person that's never been against someone's sponsor. I ain't gonna rub it a lot in people's face and say you have to buy this, but I also understand that a lot of these YouTubers, these sponsors, is what's paying for these projects and stuff for YouTube. It's hard pulling it out of your pocket. I've done it a lot.
Well, I see a lot of them, and the first 5 minutes of the video or 7 minutes or so is nothing but an ad.
Yeah. Well, I ain't even monetized yet. I'm like a few hundred hours away from it. I used to delete my live streams afterwards, and it messed with my watch time.
Yeah.
So now I had to, when I finally got the 1,000 subscribers, I had to go back through, and I was only at 2,000 watch hours when I should have been way over that, but it was because I was deleting my live streams, all my live streams, so it was bringing me most of my time. So I'm almost at 4,000 now. No, Marcy, I don't do Viagra. That's Mater. What's up, old school?
The only reason I'm on here is to learn things, and I don't care if I get monetized. I ain't got enough videos to get even close. I'm just out for the enjoyment of the people that I meet, and that's it.
There's a lot of money. I don't think there's a lot of money in monetization. I got big YouTube friends, and they even talk about it. Most of their monies do come from sponsors, but I'm not. If it pays where it covers some of these projects on YouTube, that's good. I'm not trying to become rich off of YouTube. I ain't never going to become rich off of YouTube. I don't think probably most of us small engine channels are never going to become rich off of YouTube. It's just not going to happen. People that become rich are the ones that do those stupid clickbait videos that you just can't not watch, even though you try not to watch. And that's just the hard truth. None of us small engine channels are probably ever going to get rich on YouTube. I know a lot of people's going to hate me for that, but it's just the truth of it.
I like not to favoritize or anything, but I like Polar Bear Ed.
Yeah.
I like his because it's short and sweet. You know what I mean? His videos aren't that long. Even when he's just cooking food or whatever, it's just a nice, short, simple, straight to it video. I mean, it. You know, I'm not cutting him down or nothing. I mean, he lacks a little in his production, but he's learning very fast. You know, and he's changing things. You know, and he's getting it there. You know, he's fine tuning it. You know, and but I do miss the Friday nights and Saturdays and stuff like when all the rest of them were on. You know.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm sorry about the Saturday thing, but that kind of cut away from my live streams. I've been doing this for 2 years, and everybody stopped coming to my live streams after everybody else started doing Saturdays on the small engine group.
Right.
And I was doing this live stream for 2 years. Cajun knows. Cajun's been here for most of the time. 2 years of doing this. This was my night. But, you know, I'm not going to nitpick on it. It's just, it is what it is.
I try to come to most of them, but you can't be on the same, or, you know, can't be on two at one time. So
yeah. Well, I think everybody either gets burnt out because they went to all these other people's live streams before mine and they're just burnt out on live streams, or I don't know what it is, but it's really, I think it's starting to affect me because this live streams, I never talked about this on live stream before or on video, but these streams, and Cajun knows this, Hot Rod probably knows this too, used to be 20 to 30 people each Saturday watching.
Yeah, it was.
And then it died. It just died. I'm doing the same routine I've done every time for 2 years.
Yeah.
I tell you what, for a little bit on one of my first videos that I made, it was getting like 500 to 1,000 views a day, then it just stopped. I'm up to 74,000 views on that video. I'm 30% on being able to get the monetization stuff. Yeah, but here's this Baron mower right here.
Oh yeah.
It's a little hard to see, but
yeah.
I guess it's hydraulic drive.
Oh yeah. Hey Robert, I guess maybe next video I need to put a skirt on. I'll do that. Think get more views, I'll put a skirt on.
I don't even know what all this stuff is on the back. The dude said it had an electric hydraulic lift hitch on it.
Is electric screw?
Like
what's a battle?
I don't even know how to put it. It's like, you know, one of those like electric lift hitches, like you like push a switch and it goes up and down.
Right.
But I guess it'd be hydraulic, or is it?
It's electric. Well, I've seen some of them are like electric screw, like a screw handle, you know, type thing. The end pivots.
Hey, Tampa, what's going on, bud?
So I'm curious. I just seen the model number on the Briggs & Stratton motor. What year was this made?
My screen is froze up, so I see everybody.
78.
I don't know.
Okay. This is a 78 model.
My page or see someone else's store page.
Yeah, but apparently it's got a 4 with a high and a low transmission.
Albert Boydland.
Huh.
It ain't a bad little one though, but
I appreciate that, Jehu. You all know I watch college live stream every Tuesday, you know, other than when Ed cancels it, you know.
Hey, old school. How you doing, old school?
Later, Robert.
Back in the 70s, I remember the old Dynamark riding mowers.
This is the deck for one of them, but I don't know which. I'm guessing the one that's red would go to the case, and then this big white one will go to this one.
Well, how do you know that? And you could.
That's pretty good, though.
I'm gonna have to drop out of here and come back if I'm gonna. Everything's just froze right up.
Yeah, that'll fix it.
Awesome.
Oh, wait a minute. That'll just turn the camera off and back on.
Jehu, I know it was a joint thing, but I would love to just pick on Ed and say, man, Ed, why you be canceling on me like this? Why you be canceling Tuesdays? Because, you know, it's Ed. It's just fun to pick on Ed.
Which Ed are you talking about? Pull
Ed,
it
that guy.
Oh, okay. I was talking with Puller Bear not long ago, and I was like, there was somebody, and when me and Brandon was on a panel, and there was somebody else named Ed or something, and I asked Brandon if that was you, and he's nope, not him.
No, that's Puller Bear Ed. Endell.
Yeah, what's the other guys? Ed what? Ed.
Ed those tech guy, Jehu, and Del Lucid. They have a live stream on Tuesdays with those guys are nuts. They have a lot of corny memes, and they're funny as hell. And I watch it every Tuesday.
All right, well, I guess I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I'm gonna hop off here.
All right, later, Hot Rod.
Right.
Or either just talk on my computer because it's a little easier. All right.
Catch you later. Pluto.
I'm sorry about putting all that out on people. That's just something that's been on my head for a while about the live streams and my numbers here lately, and I just felt like I just had to let it out. Because it was bugging me a lot.
They do that all this.
Oh, you ain't gonna apologize for nothing. That wasn't nothing.
I've been dealing with a lot of stress lately. I've been making a lot of money and getting a lot of work in, but coming with it is a lot of stress. And then the stressing over the YouTube viewers that I used to have that ain't there no more. It's all too much. It's too much of a stress load.
All right, don't sweat the skinny stuff.
Yeah.
I used to have 50, 60, 70 people. 80, come in my live streams. But actually that was when I had my wheels too,
Yeah.
So, but now I think, it's like 20, 25, 30, something like that. I mean, way down, but no giveaways, no auction, no, just a chit chat, I mean, no theme in it, that's just whoever wanted to come up and whoever, said something in chat, we'd start talking about, stream lives like that.
Yeah, well, we call this Small Engine Saturday. We talk about a lot of small engines, but we talk about every topic and in between.
Especially when it's small engine, like a Q&A or,
We do a lot of shop talk. We do a lot of jokes. We do a lot of. I know we all have some corny jokes. We joke around with each other, and maybe that's too much for people. Maybe they don't know our sense of humor. They probably think we're being mean with each other, but we're just joking around with each other.
There are some people that don't know how to take certain things, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Night, Tampa. Yeah, when I called Harbor Freight today, see if they had that leak down tester in stock, they was like, sure don't. So I asked them about another item I've been wanting that they haven't had in stock for a couple of months. It was a 1-inch by 30-inch belt sander, a little central machinery.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I use that for, sure ain't woodworking, because I closed my cabinet shops down. And in my cabinet shops, I didn't have use for a 1x30 belt sander. You know, I had the huge grizzly belt sanders, the big ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, I use that to sharpen knives with, and my other one went out. So the motor burned up, and it ain't worth it to rewind the motor. I mean, there's the rewind shop that was here in town, that's been closed down.
I want to build a belt grinder, but the only thing that stops me from building a belt grinder is not getting the parts or making the parts. It's the electric motor that's so expensive, and you at least need a 3/4 or probably a 1 to 2 horsepower electric motor really for that to do those right.
Grangers would have a motor at a decent price. Granger, y'all call it Granger. We say Granger down here. They have a local one here in Lafayette.
True, Jehu. We get to go one-on-one with our commenters more with the small streams. That is true. It just sucks because my live streams really did used to be really booming. We used to get a lot of people. But there's been a lot of drama between two different groups over the last couple years since starting to stream that I think kind of just hurt me, even though I stayed out of it. And it's like me and Cajun was talking about. It's usually people wanting control over it, everything. So I don't say I'm a part of any community no more. I'm part of. I watch everybody stream, no matter if it's tools, coins, small engines, big engines. I just watch everybody. I just watch everybody's videos, and I just don't say I'm part of a community because every time you say you're part of a community, that's when the drama starts. I hate to admit it.
Oh yeah, how about that? Show my face. I picked up a couple a deal at Home Depot. They had the 2 4-amp-hour Ryobi batteries and the charger for $99. Then pick up a free tool.
Really?
Yep.
I've been using, talking about Ryobi, I've been using this quite a bit here lately on small engines. I've been using this, the Ryobi die grinder. I've been using it to, like, last time I used it was, there was a torque screw that the head stripped out. I just cut a slot on there and used a flathead screwdriver. It worked great.
All right.
I find for the price and for what I use it for now, I'm not. I used to be a diesel mechanic, and for what I use the stuff for now, just for what tinkering and stuff, I'm not gonna spend, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it. I mean, I got enough hand tools. I mean, I've got 2 different toolboxes full.
Yeah. My uncle, he's a heavy diesel mechanic, and all the money of the tools that he had over the years, and he's getting where he's about to have to retire because over the years it's done damage to his back, and they're saying he's gonna have back surgery. And they say when he's done, when they have to do the back surgery, he'll never be able to work again.
My brother was an auto mechanic, and he retired out early because his neck he knew something was wrong, and he leaned back in the chair in the morning having a cigarette and a cup of coffee, and he blew out his neck.
Damn.
Yeah, now he's got like 4 or 5 pieces of cadaver bone, and I don't know what else holding his head up. Yeah, they got him in the office, and the first thing they did was throw a neck brace on him. Trying to find my shoes.
See, I started getting stuff to help me lift because do lifting and stuff around here. Because after lifting heavy stuff, trying to do all that heavy lifting by myself for the last 10 years, I messed up my shoulders and my neck. I get a lot of pain there. So I started buying those lifts and everything that could help me lift heavy stuff, so I don't have to do it by hand no more.
And I don't blame you. The last time when I started saying no I started saying no to the bosses is when I was on the end of a 6-foot pry bar, and I all of a sudden I felt a hot squirt in the back of my neck.
Yep.
And that's your joints blowing.
Yeah.
I said no more. I'm done. I'm not gonna kill myself for it. Gotta have help.
I get the burning feeling that goes all the way down my arm. That it feels like my whole arm, much from my shoulder down, feels like it's on fire.
You ever heard that old term, straining a nut? You strained a nut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that has nothing to do with the genitals, okay?
Right.
But it's right below your belt buckle, and then to the right, just right below your belt line, but just say above your pocket area.
Right.
Where the pocket goes in. When you straining on something and you feel that pop and burn, and I mean burn like fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, they call it straining a nut. I don't know why. There's a gland right there. Actually, it's called I think it's a hernial gland or something.
Yeah,
like that.
hernia. That's what I was about to say. It's like
it's a hernial gland, and that burns. I've had that happen to me like 3 or 4 times.
Sometimes you'll have to go in and they'll have to do a surgery on there sometimes.
No, well, I never did. No, I never did. But
yeah, but there's some people that it gets to the point where they actually have to have the surgery, and I hear it's very painful. It'll put you down, from what I understand, for a week or 2.
Yeah, the wife had a double hernia. Had to have then they went in and put the mesh in.
Yeah, I've heard that I've heard that a lot. Then I had heard one guy that the mesh didn't work and they had to go back in and do it again.
Well, now they don't. Then she had it also put a strain on her bladder and stuff, and it started dropping down. And they won't put mesh in the bladders no more. All they'll do is they'll push them back up in place, and then they'll stitch them up in, and they try to get them to fuse or grow. But hers lasted maybe 6 months to a year, and then it's almost right back to where it was. Again, it's still dropping,
So it ain't even really worth the surgery for that.
No, we had it, but the thing is you should have it checked. There's a woman that lives in the next town over, in a little town, and she about 7 miles away, and anyways, hers burst and she didn't make it.
Wow.
It burst, and she started massive hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom has the same problem with her bladder, but right now they're just watching it.
I'll see you guys later.
Later, Hot Rod.
And then her dad was the same way. Her dad had a hernia and just kept a waist belt on all the time, one of those heavy strap waist belts all the time. Finally, when he did get something done, they found out that he was having pain and stuff, and he got infected. And when they opened it up to fix it, they fixed it, but they also then after they're done, they says, "Well, we fixed that, but we can't fix the rest of it. He's got cancer all the way through."
Wow, man. That's my dad's worst fear. My dad hates to go to the doctor, and he's always afraid that he'll go in and they'll find something. So he hates to go to the doctor.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. But sometimes I've got a brother. I've got one brother that's in the grave, and another one that died from a heart attack. I've got 3 brothers that have all died from heart attacks, and one of them could have been prevented if he just went to the darn doctor instead of, you know.
My granddad had 3 heart attacks before he died, and they could have saved him, but he was scared of the balloon surgery, which, it's no big deal. I mean, my great uncle got it in and out, no time, but he was so scared of it. He ended up, the last heart attack was the one that killed him.
Yeah.
There was a fella, he's a Tronhon, down where I was born and raised in Abbeville, south of me. And he was always known to be one of the strongest men in town.
Hey, Jesse, don't put it up on the driveway. Don't put it up by that car.
And he was a hot rod guy too. Car engines. And he went to one of the shops one day across the bar, and just so happened there was a 327 on the stand, fully loaded. And Mr. Tronhon was like, "Man, boy, y'all did a good job on that engine. Did y'all start it yet?" They were like, "Nope, not yet, but we fixing to. So you're here for the startup." And they turned the key, and that thing started up almost like that. Now, this is a story I heard, because I was a kid at the time. I was probably about 8 years old, 9 years old. And Tronhon said, "Man, I'd like to have that engine in my car." And they were like, "Well, you know what? You're known for being strong. You grab a hold of that engine, we'll unnut it from the stand, and if you can put it in your truck, it's yours. We want to see just how strong you are." Well, he grabbed the engine. He was comfortable with his hold on that engine. They unnutted it from that stand, unbolted it, I should say. He brought it to his truck and put it in the tailgate, on the tailgate. Guess what, though? On the way there, about 2 steps before he got to the tailgate, that muscle or whatever it is that keeps your guts where they are blew out, and all his guts fell down in between his legs.
Oh boy.
And his that area down there.
Yeah.
And he stayed like that. They gave him the engine. Even though he wouldn't have did that, they'd have gave it to him because it was a dare. And he stayed like that for probably, I want to say, close to 20 years. And he finally got that problem fixed. He never did have insurance or nothing like that. He always worked for himself. He was a mechanic. He stayed like that 20 years. You could see him coming, too. If he's walking toward you, you could see him coming. He always had to wear oversized pants.
Yeah, I had a buddy. Well, he was my neighbor. We was back in the early 66, 64. When he went to Vietnam and came home before I went. And he bought one of the old Corvette Stingrays with a 327 4-speeds in them.
Uh-huh.
And it was used, and it didn't have a tire jack. His name was Bill Flynn. And Bill waved me over, and I come over, and he says, Wayne, I'm gonna lift. There's only one lug nut loose there holding that wheel on. When I lift this front of this car up, you take that wheel off, put the spare on the car, and then put a lug nut back on it. And I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, you're crazy. That man, you big man, he picked up the front of that Corvette on the corner. I took the lug nut off as he's lifting it up, and I started to slide the other tire on, and then I put the lug nut back on, and he let it back down. And this is a Corvette Stingray with a 327 4-speed in it.
Yeah.
Now, you might not believe that, but the reason he came home from Vietnam, he got run over by a deuce and a half.
By what?
And he got run over by a deuce and a half.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's what sent him home. But he still lived through it, and he's still alive. Well, now I think he's still alive. I haven't seen him in about 20 years, but
I believe that story. We have a fella in town here that's been working right at 30 years at Turner's Conoco, and his nickname is the Human Jack.
Yeah.
And they don't call him the Human Jack for nothing.
Oh,
he
yeah.
can pick up the ass end of a small car and do what you did with your buddy. He sure can. They call him the Human Jack.
Well,
that man is cut. And just, I mean, he's nothing but muscle and veins, like Bruce Lee, you know? That's what he looks like, but taller and a little bit more, bigger, you know?
This guy reminds you of the movie with Sylvester Stallone, when he was fighting the Russian. That's what he looks like.
Dang.
He is big because his mama weighed in at 285 to 290 pounds, and he was a football player in high school. He could pick his mom up and hold her above his head with one hand.
Dang.
I mean, this boy, put it this way, his hand was probably as big as your head. He could palm
Human
your head.
Yeah, Human Jack got some big old hands. He could cover from ear to ear on my head.
My dad worked with a guy in Lexington, Kentucky. He was an ex-Marine guy, and he was a big built guy like that. And he said at the tow yard he would pick up front ends of like small cars and slide them over so they could put them on the forklift, because they had one of those forklifts that they moved the cars around a lot with. You could just pick it up and just give it a slide over.
Yeah, but the man had he was one of the best temperamented person that I ever met. You know what I mean? He was tough, but he had you felt good about being around him. You know what I mean?
He was the gentle Ben.
Yeah, he just a nice person, period.
Not old school. This Saturday I should have been over here at Ray's getting my tractor fixed. I was going to do it in his shop, but I wasn't able to get it on the trailer today. So maybe next weekend. Maybe we'll just do the live stream from Ray's property next week.
Texas, there might be a reason for that. On your YouTube side, on your PC, if you have a little red live button, maybe that's not clicked. But most cell phones are quicker than a computer for some reason.
Mine locked up on me. All I had was a picture of everybody, and it was showing an hour and probably 20 minutes early. I was like at the 1:30 mark before I shut my phone down and redone it.
Hey, Ray. Ray said, "Woo party." Hey, I'll stop and get some carne asada meat. We can put it on your grill. Must well eat good.
Carne asada. Oh, I'll tell you what, I wish I had one of them big old burritos.
Yeah.
But that big around, but long as your arm from your elbow to your wrist. From in Arizona and down in Tucson, you go to them burrito shops, man, you get a burrito now. Like
Hey,
$6, man.
Hey, BNS, is Gilly's still open down there?
What?
Is Gilly's bar still open down there?
Oh no. Well, okay. He's not in that area, but Gilly's was down around Houston over there in Pasadena.
Okay.
But there's a Gilly's up in Dallas area, Dallas Fort Worth. They bought the rights out to Gilly's.
Oh.
Mickey himself, he was on one of the episodes of what is that? And two guys, one of them's named Mike Wolf.
Okay.
American Pickers. That's it.
Yeah.
And they went down over there to his place in Houston and bought a bunch of stuff. But somebody did buy the rights out to that name and opened up a big dance hall in Dallas area.
See, Texas people probably know more than anybody. Yeah, he said, yeah, the real Gillies has been gone for a while. Good while.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the place had burnt down, I think, twice.
Oh.
It burnt. They rebuilt it, and it burned again, and I think that's what caused a final shutdown.
Yeah. See, Ray's family has a distributing company for Shinerbach.
For who?
For Shinerbach.
Oh, Shinerbach. Oh, okay. Over there in Shriner, Texas.
Yeah, well, his does Central Texas.
Right. Yeah, Shiner Bach and Shiner Blonde. We used to sell those beers when I was running.
Shiner makes it real good. I like Shiner when I'm cooking. It's really good to cook with.
Oh, okay.
I use it to make either beer brats or beer batter chicken. Oh,
when I was running
too. Real good beer cheese.
When I was running that crawfish ball kitchen down in Houston off of FM 1960, we sold those beers.
I had somebody on Mater's stream ask me to sing, and
there you go.
And I tell you what, I did the worst thing I did the worst as I could. I mean, I didn't want to let anything out of my mouth, man. I don't mind singing, but it's been a long time since, you know what I mean?
See, he said they used to do Pearl, and Pearl made a beer for Gillies.
Right, they did. And those American Picker guys, they bought a couple of cases of that beer from it.
Do they make
actually has one of the original distribution trucks they had that actually still has the Pearl logo on it. I can't remember, but I think I seen him. He had that one.
I remember the Pearl beer, and then Pearl Light, 50% less. Boy, that was a weak beer. You can drink 4 days and not get drunk.
Do they still make non-pasteurized beer in Texas?
Well, I remember Coors was a non-pasteurized beer at one time, and then they started, doing it like the other companies, and it would keep longer.
That's right. I knew it was Chevy, 55 Chevy. Like,
yeah, it used to be able to get 18% alcohol down there.
It's right there in the chat, Ray. It's right here in the chat. Yeah, Ray's family has the local distributor.
Well, guys, I gotta run.
Okay.
I took that one night med, and It's kicking in. It's been kicking in.
Hey,
all right. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me up, Brandon. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all Pluto.
Later, Cajun.
Crackling grease sounds good.
I guess Ray's gonna join us and talk about gillies and beer.
Gillies and beer, that sounds good.
I'm playing around with these flush cutters that I saw in a video that I just had to get because I have to cut a lot of zip ties. It really does do a nice clean cut on a. I always used dikes before, side cutters, but those flush cutters do a lot better job.
Okay. I found out what it is. Every time somebody leaves the stream, that's when my video all freezes.
Really?
Yeah, when he left, everything was fine until he left the video. He left the live stream, and then it still shows he's there, and you're there, but it's all froze at 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Ray, if you're watching this, hit the link in the chat. He sent me a message. Link.
Yeah.
In the chat. I don't know if I can get to it easy, my Facebook, without freezing my computer up. I have like an old junky computer in the shop because there's no point in having a nice computer out in the shop.
Right. I use my phone, but Google's changed something lately, and it's been hard on the.
It won't let me StreamYard on my phone no more. I don't know what's going on, but I can't StreamYard anymore.
I used to be able to do this phone used to do everything, and it's a Google phone. It's a Pixel 4. Mm-hmm. It used to be excellent, and they went through and they changed a lot of stuff. Google did, and now it's it asks for identifications, verifications, and everything else when I do things, or who I am.
Trying to. Oh, there he is.
See, and he ain't showing up on live stream for me.
Hi, Ray.
All right. I don't know if it's working or not, but we'll see.
I can hear him.
Your fancy internet you have out there now?
I guess. All right, what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking. The last subject we was talking about was beer and gillies.
Gillies and beer.
Gillies and beer.
It's like that song, titties and beer. I mean, gillies and beer.
Rodney Carrington's best work.
I couldn't help it. I had to throw that one in there.
Right.
You've heard that song, haven't you?
Yep, Rodney Carrington. You got it. I love. And that one that he was at that one place that they did the video at, that was probably the funniest him doing it because he had that piano guy, and that guy was going. He was so funny. The piano guy was so funny in it.
There was a guy that guy there and two others showed up in Detroit at a theater, and they had a concert, and that thing was wild. It had everybody roaring.
All right, that might explain a lot. My headphones weren't plugged in all the way.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm probably only am I showing up with my picture, or is it? What's it doing?
I'm seeing your picture. You're just in a very dark spot.
Yeah, well, but it's not changing. It's froze that way.
It's changed it on my end.
Okay, it ain't on my end, so it's all on my end. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
And my phone is running through Wi-Fi, and I've got 5G Wi-Fi.
See, I paid all that for extra Wi-Fi here, but Spectrum cannot get it right. at my place.
They can't get it right at any place.
Well, my daughter's got what do they call it? They got gigabyte and terabyte.
Yeah.
And hers, man, I'll tell you what, it blows mine out of the water. I can, like, you want to download large files and upload large files, I go to her place and I flip the laptop open and I can transfer 4 or 5 gig files to the internet in less than 10 minutes. I mean, it just flies. You can sit there and just watch the counter go right across the screen, loading up, going up.
See, I talked to a customer of mine. He has a lawn care service, but he's retired from this cable company. And he said what it is the cable companies don't want to spend money on upgrading houses that ain't in subdivisions because it's easier for them to do it in subdivisions.
Well, see, they were going to come through here with Google Gigabyte or whatever, and then they bypassed and went over through. They went somewhere else. Now they're back to talking about it because my little town has become the pot capital of Michigan.
Yeah. Hey,
there's 16 pot distribution places, and they've also got the one company bought think of like a large GM plant. It's about the size of what this place was, and they're spending $50 million to refurbish it and to grow pot indoors.
Wow.
$50 million.
I don't smoke this stuff, but I'm telling you, if I had the money to invest in one of those companies, I'd be all over it. I mean, I don't smoke it, but I can profit from it. I don't care. Well, I'm not against nobody that smokes it. Anybody do what they want to do. I don't give a crap. I just personal preference. I got better.
I don't smoke it either. But the thing is I do have, like my mother. She don't smoke it, but we have what's called it's like a hemp oil or whatever, and she has severe pain, and she's in her 80s.
I hear that does work.
If you buy the cheap stuff, it don't. But if you get there's a few brands here that are really excellent, and she rubs that on because she complains of her legs burning and aching and hurting, and I've used it on my back. And I tell you, within 3 to 4 minutes after I put that on my back, I'm like a 2-year-old. I can bend over. I can put my body into positions I can't normally. I think the only thing I ever tried, and it was one time, was the vaping of the THC oil. It didn't do nothing for me, so I was like, it's not for me. But Ray, check this out. Well, I'm not picking on anybody out there, but anybody with any kind of neurological, or what I should say, if they have any problems with keeping their head straight normally, they're on some kind of a medication to keep them calm, cool. Like they suffer from depression, or they're hyperactive, or any of this stuff. You don't want them near that stuff because it counteracts their drugs that they're on. Well, and some people it'll calm down, but there's some people that it has the exact opposite. So it don't always help people. I know guys who we knew someone who smoked that stuff for years, and it started causing panic attacks with him. Yeah, I tried it, and when I did it, that's exactly what I got. I got panic attacks. My grandma said she tried it one time and it made her tired. She didn't like the feeling of it, so she never tried it again. But see, and I'll be open and admit it. When I was in the military, there was, you had your potheads, you had your alcoholics, and you had your pill people,
Yeah.
And if you weren't doing one of the three, you couldn't go out and do a normal day in the bush,
Well, my dad actually hauled an old NCO, and he said he let his guys do that stuff because he said he had very few deaths in his unit, and he thinks it's because he let it happen. It put their mind somewhere else and not the shitty situation they was in. That's how them survived it.
You're not, put it this way, you're not freaking out all the time.
Yep.
You're not under the stress and the pressure. Some people, and then I know guys that were straight as a bone, and they thrived on pressure. When they were under pressure, they were a whole different person. But when they would get back and then they would start shutting down, they're like as dumb as a box of rocks. They made no common sense.
And you can never tell which people that usually has those issues are. I see it a lot. I live in a military town, and I see it a lot with a lot of young soldiers going around running. It'd be normal as heck and just run around saying they got PTSD. But I've also seen soldiers really have PTSD, and the ones that really do have it don't go around talking about it. They're usually quiet and set back.
See, and it's like me. That my pastor in my church that I go to, he's an ex Navy man, and he's talked to me a few times because he talked to my wife because I have nightmares.
Yep.
And anyways, and he kept trying to get me to go to Chicago and go under treatment and stuff. And I says, nah. I told the wife, I ain't going nowhere near that place because 9/10 of them, they give them a pocket full of drugs and pat them on the back and send them down the road.
That's the problem is people, veterans and soldiers are guinea pigs for the government.
Yeah, that's no joke. I mean, I figure I lived through what I had to go through. And I mean, I spent the last 6 months to a year in recovery. They sent me to Japan, and then from Japan they sent me to Germany, and then they're going to send me home. And I told them I ain't going home. I says I ain't got nothing, and I ain't got nothing to go back there for. Well, they said you got your wife and family, and I says I can't. Right now I can't go back there. I says my mind was not there. I mean, it plays hell with it. And it's even after I got home, it took me a good 5 years to get my head screwed back.
Yeah, my grandpa was he was a Marine over there during Vietnam, and he died way before. My dad was young when he died. He had a heart attack young. He was probably in his early 40s. And that seemed to be a common thing. I've heard a lot of people, Vietnam vets, die that young. It's probably a lot of stuff they sprayed on y'all over there.
I had my first, and I came home, and it causes nerve disorders and everything else. I had my first heart attack at 42.
Yep.
And then it was another 6 months later, had another one. And
yeah, my dad said that when his dad would come to watch baseball games, but he didn't like crowds, so he would sit in his car and watching his baseball games from his car because he didn't like the crowds.
Or you get into a crowded room, or there's a lot of it. See, I'm I got wounded in that, and I'm still carrying shrapnel and stuff they can't take out. And but I finally, it took, like I said, it took me 5 years to come under, to get it my head back around, and I finally I've accepted what's going on, but if my wife, this is my second wife because my first wife couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And I mean, because my first wife, I just about threw her out through the bedroom window.
My grandfather left. My grandmother left him because he was kind of in the mental state he was in. When he came back, he was kind of abusive.
Oh, what it is I try to explain to him, don't when I'm sleeping and I'm making noises, don't touch me. Just get away from me. And she thought she was going to hug up with me in that, and I picked her up and I was going to throw her out the second story window of the house.
Yep.
And anyways, but usually then the problem is after that snap of rage, then I'm like a 2-year-old child. I'll cry in a corner.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad said my grandfather would do stuff like that. And you guys had a lot harder than, I appreciate what these young soldiers doing for the country. But you guys had a lot harder. My grandfather had to fight for years for his disability from the military, and he lost his arm.
Right. He shouldn't have never had to fight for it.
And you know why he fought for it? Because he got hurt in Cambodia on a mission, and they tried to question at the time why was you in Cambodia.
There's a lot of places that young guys were that they were told if you get caught, we don't know you.
Yep. That's why my granddad told my dad when he wanted to go into the military, he said he could go. He said the Army ain't as bad, but he said don't go Marine.
See, and I was part of the 101st, and then later on I got detached to the Big Red 1, and I had 58 jumps on my record.
I actually know a guy. I think he retired. That's what he was in during Vietnam, was 101. He was a helicopter gunner.
I was a paratrooper. I jumped from copters and I jumped from planes, and
my uncle was during Desert Storm. He was attached to the airborne, but he was like military intelligence. But because he was attached, he still had to go. They still put him through some of the jumping training and stuff.
Probably with the 87th or something like that.
Yeah, he was based out of Fort Campbell,
Kentucky. Yep.
He was one of the first troops in. Okay, Ray. He was one of the first troops. Was one of the first troops that went into over there when Desert Storm started.
Yeah, my brother, my oldest brother, he was in the Air Force, and he served 2 tours over there in during that Iraqi freedom or whatever it was. But anyways, he came home, fell dead in the bathroom 6 months after he came back.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well, remember they said you remember all these guys that were they were talking about being poisoned by the sand and all this.
Oh,
and the government says no, they weren't poisoned. That sand, there's no, well, there's a lot of them that fell over dead.
My uncle never really ever talked much about over there. Only thing he ever mentioned was the smell when he first got there.
Yeah.
Because I guess they just right before they went in there, they did an airstrike. He said the smell is what I remembered the most.
Oh yeah, that ain't the part that bothered me. The thing that bothered me the most was the kids.
Yeah.
That would tear you up. That they would use the kids against us, And
my sister dated a guy. He was a young guy, and it messed him up. He had to kill a kid of his little brother's age that was charging at him, shooting over there in Iraq.
well, they plant bombs on them. See, there is like in Vietnam, they'd stick hand grenades up between their legs and then walk in, you know, and it's a kid, but the freaking kid get in there, and then the kid would open his legs up, and the worst thing to ever see is, you know, all of a sudden you got a kid walking in, and you're new in there, and the kid would be coming in, and everybody, you know, like normal, and then all of a sudden the machine gun fired out and ripped the kid in half, and all of a sudden everybody'd hit the dirt, and all of a sudden you'd hear, whoo, you know, and you got shrapnel flying everywhere.
But they knew that would affect. See, these countries, these people are ruthless. They knew that kids would affect. Americans think a different way than they did. They didn't.
Yeah, well, they thought it was for the honor of their country. It's like the Japanese and some of that. It's for the honor of their country.
Yep. Some of them was also their families were threatened and everything else, just like the Nazis did.
Oh yeah, or even the Japanese and Chinese did the same thing.
Yep.
But anyway.
But I'll always say you guys in Vietnam had it worse than a lot of these young soldiers. I mean, I got a lot of respect for these new young soldiers. They signed up to do their part, but I think oftentimes a lot of Vietnam soldiers don't get as much attention as they deserve because y'all seen a lot shittier conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, they got tents these days with air conditioning. Y'all would have probably killed for heat and air conditioning.
Well, not only that, see, we didn't have that release. Over there, they got cell phones, cell cards, and you can call back home, talk to your family, and you got internet and do internet phone calls, and you had a lot more contact with the outside world. Yep. All we had was Hanoi Jane and whatever, you know.
Did they even let y'all come back to the state for R&R? Did y'all have to do y'all's R&R over there?
You got to go. If you went to ones that went for an R&R, they may get to go to Japan, you know, but they didn't come home.
Yeah, these days they get to come home, but you know what? I've heard some people say that they wish they didn't get to come home for R&R because they said it made it worse to go back.
Oh yeah, the ones that you get, some of them come home and then wouldn't come back, or they come home, they can't, the ones that, you know, would somehow get wounded and then come back or do something, you know, and they get home and their wives are gone or been sleeping with somebody else or their girlfriend's gone,
and that all sorts of crap all the time here.
And it just screws their heads up. If you're going to go in there, you're better off not being attached to anything.
Yeah, like I know a lot of these old guys that's retired military, and that was their life. They was pretty much married to the military. They never married. They was married to the military.
Yeah. I mean, it's me and no, see, I went in first, and when I was young, I was 17. I come home and from school, and I told my ma, I said, "Here, Ma, I need you to sign this paper." "And what's this for?" "It's for school, Ma. Just got to sign it." You know, and my sister had taught her how to write her name. My ma came to Michigan in '52 from Virginia. So when she came, an X was your mark, you know. And she didn't know how to read, write, or didn't know how to math or nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So when I went overseas, and then I came back. When I got back, my brother was 2 years older than I was. He didn't go into the military until he's almost 30 years old.
I always heard rumors. I don't know if it happened like that, but I always heard rumors that my granddad at first went in because he did like one tour during Korea.
Yeah.
That he went in young, but he used his debt because y'all didn't have there wasn't a lot of ways to track records as much back then. He used his dead brother who died in World War II's ID to join.
Yeah. Well, I had two uncles that used their older siblings' ID to get in. They went. One was only 16, the other one was 17.
Yep.
I was 17.
Supposedly he got busted, but he eventually got busted, but by that time he was already at age and they needed the soldiers anyway, so they left him alone.
Yeah. And then the one guy in there, when I came home, I met him in the airport. They busted him. He was trying to do a third tour. He served 2 tours in Nam, and then he came home and he joined in another branch of the service. He joined in the Marine Corps. He was in the Army. He joined in the Marine Corps, and then somebody caught on to him, and they were sending him back home.
Some people like being deployed. Like, I have a brother-in-law. He likes being deployed.
Well, see, some of them, like back then, some of them during Vietnam, there's a few of them that they were kind of sadistic. They enjoyed killing.
Yeah.
And that's what this guy enjoyed killing. You know, it's the only thing he knew.
I read because my dad was always big into those war books and stuff. I read the war books about the guy that would keep like teeth and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people just, they're sociopaths. But I guess it's probably good they killed over there
than here.
Yeah.
But when they come back here, see, a lot of these guys, I talk with a few of us to get together and support each other, you know, and some of them guys, you can look at them and, you know, you can see the devil in them.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that I worked a job with, and it was in the over in the Arab countries there that they called the 7-Day War.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I forgot, Israel and all this, and they called it, or wherever it was, and it was what they called the 7-Day War. And when he came back, man, talking about somebody screwed up. And he was another one of these big gentle Bens, but man, if you pissed him off, I seen him in he was in Walmart and somebody pissed him off, and they got a manager, and he picked the manager up and put him above his head and slammed him against the coolers and told him, "You ever get in my face again, I'll kill you." I heard it myself, so, and I thought, my God, and I kept yelling at Jeremy, "You can't do that." I can. I said, "No, you can't, Jeremy. Put him down." But he got off. He lucked out. You know, there's a couple of us. We were all straight. We weren't drinking or anything. We talked the police out of putting him away.
Some cops they think about it when it comes to someone like that. Not
right.
all of them. Some will be assholes and they put him away just for it.
Well, put it this way: there was a lady cop and there was a guy, and he stood about another 2 foot above both of them. He outweighed them. He out-muscled them. Put it this way: you take your thighs or your legs, and that's the size of his arms.
Yeah.
He had arms on him like a gorilla. I mean, this guy stood 6'4".
It's just something in his brain snapped at that moment.
Right. And some of them, then we had another guy in there that I worked with. he came back. They sent his hind end back home, and he was popping all these pain pills. And I said, man, you need to go to a civilian doctor, man. And anyways, I finally talked him into it. I said, I'll go with you. I'll take you with me. I'll go with you, and I won't let them keep you. And they got him in there and run him through a CAT scan and found out his back was broken. And he'd been home. He'd been home over 7 months with a broken back.
Those military and VA doctors, they're awful. I know one guy, one of my customers, long-time Vietnam vet. They sent him. He went into the VA hospital. They wanted to do exploratory surgery of his intestines. They looked at his intestines, sent him home, and his intestines erupted.
Right.
He almost died.
Well, we had a guy. There's another guy who worked down with my daughter, and he was a sergeant in the military, and he went in for a freaking knee surgery, and he kept going back to hospital because it wasn't healing, the VA hospital. And finally, we talked him into going to civilian doctors because back then, that wasn't, the VA didn't cover civilian doctors.
Yeah.
And he didn't last a week. He's dead.
I hear a lot about VA doctors and knee surgeries. Even recently, someone I knew got hurt. They messed up their knee and got real affected, and it almost killed him.
Well, what it is, these guys. Well, see, back years ago, what they did is they had all these. They get these doctors and bring them over from like Thailand and Vietnam and from all these Asian countries, and they come over here and practice medicine for the VA, and because they were cheap.
Yep.
But the half of those idiots didn't know what they were doing.
They would never pass you. They probably got pushed past the board, but if they did it on their own, they probably would never pass the board. Right.
They went through the VA. They come over, and the Army would put them in there. Okay, you work for us for how many years, and then once that's done, you can get an outside practice, on your own. And most of them are jokes, man. So, how many people still in the live stream?
2. I'm probably about to end this because I need to go walk up the shop, make my walk back to the house.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, because I can't. Everything's froze up, so I can't tell what's going on. So,
yeah.
All I'm doing is like talking on the phone with you.
Yeah, nobody's really chatting. I didn't see nobody chatting. Steven was chatting for a minute. But I think I'm going to end this and go in and eat more supper. I usually eat a small portion before live stream on Saturday, and then I'll go in and pig out more before going to bed.
Yeah, when I came home from doing some tool shopping, and then I cut grass. Went down because it was starting to get dark, and I went down and cut my mother's grass. We still got her property, and she's got 5 acres of grass. So yeah. I went down, I cut part of it the other day, and then it rained this morning, and then it got so hot today, I says, no way. And then tonight it started to cool off. I went down and I went and bought a brand new 0-turn. So
yeah, that'll help.
Oh, it saves time. It saves time, even because I had a riding tractor with a 54-inch cut, and it still was an all-day job.
Well, and the way a riding mower is set up, you can't. With 0-turn, you can mow full speed. A riding mower, you can't. If you go real fast, you ain't gonna cut much. But some way a 0-turn's cut, you can actually go full speed and actually cut grass.
Well, I usually cut it about maybe 5-6 mile an hour. Mine will do 11 mile an hour. Just going forward,
Yeah.
But I bought a Hustler with a 24 horse Kawasaki on it. So
man, those things right there will flat out fly.
You're not kidding, it will. That thing flies, and it cuts good too. I've never, everybody complains about grass clogging and stuff, and we got mostly Kentucky bluegrass where I'm at, and that stuff. When I'm done cutting, I'll come back down, go to wash it off, and first time I went under to scrape it, or look at it, see if you need to knock any big stuff off, it was like a sheet of paper hanging underneath, and I just took a long scraper and I peeled it, and it fell off like a big old sheet of paper.
Man, I love Kentucky bluegrass. It looks so pretty after it's cut. We can't grow it here. It won't do it in the Texas heat.
Michigan, it does pretty good. Michigan, it does pretty good. We mix bluegrass, clover, and maybe 10 or 15% rye.
Yeah, that's what we always did up there in Kentucky. That's the kind of mixture. Because the clover will almost act like a cover crop as in between the grass coming in and going.
Yeah, plus then on top of that, I don't cut anything less than 2 3/4 inch.
Yeah. Some people scalp, but it don't look right.
No, I don't. And and with that 60-inch deck, it really looks good.
My dad's from an area in Kentucky where all those racehorse farms are, and they all got that bluegrass all fancy cut. It's a pretty thing to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's go then. I'm gonna get out of here.
Thanks for stopping. Hope to get to talk to you again soon.
Oh, I will.
All right. Later.
Yeah.
Later, everyone.